Welcome back to Dumping Out Definitive. I'm Ken.
And I'm Bethany.
And this is season 3 finale of Attack on Titan.
Yeah, and it's going to be like intense and it's a finale. So we grabbed champagne.
Champagne.
You know, we learned a bunch of stuff. It blew
Yeah.
our minds. And this is going to help the wheels spinning in our brains.
Cheers to finally unlocking the basement.
Woohoo! To the basement.
To the basement. This is not you. Oh, little boy in his beer stein. Bucky's drinking too. Yeah.
Good job, little Bucky.
Good boy, Bucky.
Good boy. Yeah, the Byron's beer stein. So this is a little bit much. I'm sure that everyone would love to see the back of your hair while you attack me.
Good boy.
And kisses. But this is a bit much.
Okay.
I love you, baby. But
ready?
Yeah. Here, have a toy. Everybody's gonna chill now, because we're gonna watch this.
Yes.
Ooh, we get to see this. I thought, oh! You didn't even eat him.
He squeezed the soldiers' lives out as if he were juicing fruit.
I don't think that was the guy who hated it, but still.
I think you're right. It wasn't.
It's an enormous body of soul.
Are you allowed to watch this?
Yes, after 19, we're allowed to watch it.
Okay.
Drinking coffee. This dark liquid substance. Oh yeah, this gives away a lot.
It's also crazy to think they've been contained on an island this whole time.
Yeah.
And they've never seen the sea. Like, that just tells you how confined they've been to one area.
It's true.
But they haven't even ventured far enough to see the ocean.
Yeah. I mean, it's still got nothing on season 1's intro. Oh, that was pretty cool, though.
Of course, I looked down at Bucky and Oliver for a second.
It's alright, you know everything, yeah. We're never gonna watch this intro.
I'm here, we're still picking up some flashback.
Yeah, so maybe this is how it's gonna happen, is what's gonna end up now.
You said you were the owl?
Yes, my name's Aaron Kruger.
Yeah. You got into public security by pretending to be a Marleyan? What about the blood tests?
Doctors make good spies. But, considering your results, I see why Grice lamented as he did.
I have no excuses. I was a bad husband, a worthless father. Dinah was special, a subject of Ymir with royal blood. She could have made full use of the power of the Titans. And if you hadn't shut me up, she'd still be...
Tell me why. You're just making your hands worse.
I'm grateful for your concern, but I didn't notice much before. When you were cutting off my fingers...
Keep it up.
What was the point of waiting for them to be turned into monsters? Why do you look so pale?
Oh, he's dying.
Yeah.
Wasn't. I've severed thousands of fingers from fellow subjects of Ymir. I've created countless.
You can't do it anymore.
When I first met you outside, you may wish you could take it back. But if not for what happened, you wouldn't hate Marley nearly enough to come this far.
So is that the reason why you chose me?
Yep. You have the proper amount of hate.
It's you bore it all such hatred. A look in your eyes could have burnt the world to ash. And my father was a staunch supporter. Not only did they accomplish nothing, all of them were burnt alive. I just peeked through the closet door and watched. After that day, I had to do these heinous deeds. Or else I would have been found out as the owl.
So go on and tell me, this task, what exactly is it you're asking me to do?
I want you to make your way into the walls and take the Founding Titan by force. After you've inherited my Titan, that is.
You want me to... what? But why don't you do it?
Anyone who inherits the power of one of the 9 will perish 13 years later.
Oh.
That's how long it's been for me.
Shit.
Ymir died that long after getting her powers.
That's why that's not going to surpass her.
So I have 13 years to live. I've only got 8 left.
You're wrong. There's been a mistake. It can't be true.
If someone with the powers of one of the 9 should die without passing it on to a successor, the power will be inherited by a baby born after that death. Subject of Ymir, of course. These paths are countless. They reach far and in many directions, but they all meet at one coordinate. The Founding Titan.
Speaking of Ymir, who do you think she really was?
To the Marleyan state, she's the devil's pawn. But to the Eldian Empire, she was a miracle of God. There are those who believe that she touched the source of all life. And who am I to say they're wrong? Any one of us can become a god or a devil. All it takes is for people to believe it. Dinah's royal heritage was objectively real.
Then why'd you let them turn her?
She had to go before Zeke could tell Marlene more. The enemy would have forced Dinah to bear their children for the rest of her miserable life. Would that have been better? I didn't save our comrades because they couldn't reach the walls alive. Only one of the 9 can make it past all those mindless titans. I've done my duty. Now do yours.
To be perfectly honest, I don't think I'm fit for the job. Look at the sergeant. He was eaten alive by a titan. And afterward, you asked me if I had realized that this was the price of freedom. I wouldn't have paid.
Stand. Fight. If you want to restore freedom and dignity to Eldia, then stand.
I
You want to make it all mean something. Don't give up now.
Yeah.
I brought this from your home. Look at it. What's wrong with you? Marley cut your balls off. The main reason I chose you was because of that day. Because you went beyond the walls. If you hadn't taken your sister's hand and run past the gate that day, you would have ended up running your father's clinic. And your sister might be married by now. She might even have had children. But you'll never know what she would have become. We've known that we'd have to keep fighting. To pay for our sins. Even in death. Even after. You chose to start this story.
Or
Each of the 9 titans has a name to describe it. And that includes the one you're about to inherit from me. Throughout history, this titan's marched in the vanguard. And for freedom's sake, it fights. Therefore,
It's called the Attack Titan.
Ah, okay, sweet.
What's that all about?
Of course, I want to be the attack.
Who the hell were you talking to?
No one. It's nothing.
You said the name of your titan, right?
we all go through a phase like this.
A phase where we mutter weird crap while posing?
Yeah, pretty much.
Get out.
What? But I'm not done. I still have 10 full days left.
I'm satisfied. Hanji just gave you 10 days worth of pain.
We talked it all over with Premier Zachary, so don't worry.
Did you lose some weight? That's odd. We had plenty to eat.
You look well enough.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's go. Her Majesty has come to trust.
To my dear Historia. As I write this, Rhina's standing at my side. He knows this is a love letter, but he's still sneaking peeks. Honestly, it's no wonder the creep's still single. That said, he says he owes me for the time I doubled back to save him. I never would have imagined myself choosing those two over you. I'm going to die soon, but truth is, I do have one. It's that I never got to marry you. With love, Ymir.
These paths are countless. They reach far and in many directions, but they all meet at one coordinate. The Founding Titan.
Wait, what was that? Something wrong? I doubt that she would be permitted to write anything that might be beneficial to our cause.
Could there be a secret message that no one can see except you?
The first letter of its sentence.
You can renews in the gap for 60 years, Beth. How's that possible if it's after 13?
Well, they're after 13th. They're one of the 9, whatever.
Why don't we get the ball rolling?
Yay!
The only people who know these books exist are those who are in this room now. These texts were obtained through the efforts of the 9 scouts before us and the 199 others who were lost.
The scouts have suffered a brutal, staggering blow. In exchange for the lives of many heroes, including Ervin Smith, we have retaken Walmaria and seized control of the Colossal Titan with all its fearsome strength. According to these books, we're of a special race that can turn into titans, called the Subjects of Ymir. We ruled the world once, and some fear we will again. So despite our past century of pacifism, most in this world would like to wipe us out.
The King in the Walls won't fight, huh? If Eldia is driven to sin once again, it shall perish, as is meant to be. I've made a vow, renouncing war through the founding Titan. He said that to the royal family still on the continent, and then he closed his gates. The King of the Walls stole his people's memories, and told them that beyond the walls humanity was gone. He tells them they're in paradise. A king that can't protect his people is no king. You must find that coward, and strip him of the founding Titan's power. That's the mission I'm entrusting to you.
Dr. Yeager did manage to achieve this mission. When a royal comes to possess the founding Titan, they're overpowered by their ancestors' will. Such is the power of his vow renounced. Eren has commanded pure Titans once in the past to escape from a dire situation. So despite his lack of royal blood, it's at least conditionally possible for Eren to wield that power too.
That's right. If only for an instant, it felt like everything connected.
You're not my real mom.
I'm here as a descendant of the royal family. The last state. My name's Dinah Fritz.
There's no way!
So he was under his story I can control.
I just...
He's must say to contact with the royal blood.
Actually, it's nothing. Huh?
Armin.
It would appear that Yeager here is going through an awkward phase. He speaks out of turn and...
I haven't told those two about it yet either. About how the Titan who killed my mother and Hannes was actually someone my dad had been married to. If someone with royal blood is turned into a Titan, then it might be possible for me to use the founding Titan's powers while touching them. Who knows? But if the military knew it was a possibility, what would they do to Historia?
After you've entered the walls, you should start a family.
What are you talking about? I'm still married to Dinah. And you're about to transform me, right? So won't I just forget?
That's not always the case. And it's possible someone else will see it. Huh? Be it your wife, your child, or even a stranger. Love someone in those walls. You have to see this through. Complete your mission and save Mikasa and Armin.
Mikasa? Armin? Who are they?
I don't know.
Because it crosses space and time. So he was getting Eren's memories from the future because, like, it's all connected at some point. And so Square is a coordinate. He could pass his memories and his thoughts on to anybody.
Oh.
I mean, that's just what I'm, you know.
Yeah, no, I think you're 100% right, because as they were introducing that image with, like, they said it, like, transcends space and time and all it comes to one.
Yeah. So, did not think any of that was gonna happen. I didn't know, like, we recorded something beforehand about like our thoughts about this episode, and just completely off. I'm what we thought was gonna happen. I will say though that I don't know if I'm glad about this, but like I wasn't too far off when we had the thought that they might be like using, like, I worried about Historia being used as like
Puppet Queen.
yeah, the puppet queen, like, and just like they would keep like breeding, like, she would just that would be her sole job was whatever, is just keep producing more and more like heirs and whatnot, and that ended up not being true. But that was a fear of the dude that was the original, like, one of the 9 Titans or whatever, that was on the wall with Eren's dad, and he said that, like, that's why he made sure that they didn't know that Dinah was part of the royal family, because that's what they would have done with her. So I'm like, all right, see, people are sick, just like I thought. So my lack of faith in humanity was confirmed. I'm happy that I have these thoughts. Like a villain.
Oh man, I mean, well done, Eren, because there was a time when Eren would have said any thought that popped into his head. He was very impulsive, and he had that sort of like very like knee-jerk emotional response to everything going on around him. And now he has these thoughts. He even like stands up. He was like mid-daydream or whatever, but he like puts a lid on it so that he can think it all through. And he's starting to kind of see the chess pieces and how they move, which to me was very reminiscent of like Levi and Urban. And so it just goes to show you how much he has learned and how much he's grown as a character that he could even do that. And I love the shot of like Mikasa looking at him, sort of like off her face. What? And just like she knows something's up, but whereas she kind of always been like that and kept a lid on everything and like kept her thoughts to herself until absolutely necessary to speak. Aaron's been the opposite. Now we're kind of seeing him start to be that politician in this time, which is, God, I never really thought I'd say Aaron is like a politician, but here we go. He's playing into politics now. He's being smart.
There were so many good moments in this episode that were just like small little moments or pieces of dialogue. One of the ones was when I got the guards, like the owl. Owls on the wall was saying that we're all capable of being God and the devil, and just kind of like the lens in which people like tell our story and like see us through.
Yep.
And that's like I'm like that's so good because it's so true. Just of we just think it's, times we are in right now are very polarizing. And just like saying one group of people, like whether it's like political, religious, whatever, like whatever you want to say. It's like, okay, they're evil or they're really good because they believe this and that and the other. And it's like the narrative is so focused on like these people are bad, like they're trying to like destroy the world. And this is why. And like just like just divides us so much instead of like looking at each other as all as like human beings, and like we all just want to what we think is best for us in society. Hopefully, I'm not saying I think everyone thinks of that, but most people don't.
Like to give the benefit of the doubt that for the most part that is true. Then there's just like the dick bags, and they'll always be there.
Yeah, they're selfish, I think. Yeah. But yeah, so I really love that line, and I love I like the opposite side of that. That's like maybe not as poignant, but like was really funny. Zoe talking about Aaron, just like, oh, this is what you do now? You just like strike a pose and like just mutter shit. Yes, that is such a great description of like being a moody emo teen. It's just I could just think of because I mean the way he just had a pose too, it was kind of like would you think of like I don't know, like a 50s greaser, like the leg up against the wall, leaning against it, smoking a cigarette or something. Just man, side thing, bro. So yeah, that was just like those two lines that again, like we're just like small little moments, but really enhance the episode.
It's funny that you kind of brought up like we're all capable of being God or the devil, because I don't know why I was having this thought or why it popped in my head, but where I was in the shower the other day for whatever reason, I started to think about kind of like essentially the concept of that, and like people take the Bible so literally, or they take the parts of the Bible that they want literally, and they kind of leave the rest. But it's like, what if the whole dang thing is just one giant metaphor for humanity and what we're capable of? And like, we could be godlike. We could be the best versions of ourselves, or we could be horrific, monstrous devils. Like, we're all capable of all of it under the right circumstances. And so sure, you can think like of yourself right now and be like, well, I could never do this. You're probably right about right now, but you had X amount of years developing, getting a set of moral codes, a set of life experiences that brought you to that time. Take somebody from infancy and put them through whatever, and human beings, just like at their core, and we're so capable of anything. That's why the whole nature versus nurture discussion.
Yeah.
So I love the whole conversation with the owl and Aaron sat on them all. It's something that I actually kind of want to like go back and rewatch, just because I felt like there was so much in there that at first watch I probably didn't pick up on all of it even. Ymir's letter to Historia was just heartbreaking. To say like I'm gonna die, but I'm so sad that I never got to marry you. Like, I don't know how Historia was able to read that and keep herself composed, because that was just tough to hear.
Well, and I mean, just more revelation is the fact that Aaron might be like Aaron like holds Historia's hand or something like that. He can control the Titans. And then two, like Ymir looked like she was the one chained down below, and she was looking at like the coordinate, like the spot where like it all comes together. I mean, and her name is Ymir. So yeah, like I mean, like I just there's that and the mystery of.
So like she's the founding Titan, right? Like Aaron's the attack Titan, but they talk about like the founding Titan. She's Ymir. Is she like? Did she inherit?
No, Aaron's still the I think the founding titan because he's the coordinate. The coordinate was the founding titan. Think.
I'm just curious if there's anything particularly special about her. Given
There's
her
gotta be.
name, like yeah,
It's got to be.
So that's what I was like when they talked about how even if it's not done through like the eating and the family line,
Mm.
if that titan dies, essentially their essence, their whatever,
They're reborn into somebody.
Exactly.
So in here was
she looks like the way that
Marlene people.
okay. So the way that the Marlians depict Ymir versus the way the Eldians depict Ymir, the Marlians looked very much like Ymir's Titan.
Yeah.
So that was interesting too.
It very yeah. I completely forgot about that part. That bombshell of just like, oh, if somebody dies, then there's essence gets passed on. They weren't eaten; they were reborn. So yeah, she very well could have been like I guess you're right, the founding father, like the founding Titan or whatever, Ymir, and yeah, oh man, so that's wild. And then there was something else that and I just now completely forgot about it. Like there was just so much information, and like just reveals in here that was going on. I'm like, does it have to do with Eren? One, I like the fact that like he's like the attack titan. That just fits.
Fitting.
If he could get any Titan ability, being the attack Titan, that's the best one for Eren to get.
Yeah. I also, and I'm going to go off on another tangent, but if you remember what you were doing. When Eren, Sand, and Al were talking on the wall, and Eren's dad was like, I don't care about any, like, you want me to go fight? I don't care about any of it. And there is something to humanity about that's so powerful, which is like, when you take people's purpose away, when you take away their reason for living, like loved ones and whatnot, they just die. Like, it's been kind of shown psychologically in studies, physically in studies, like when people don't have those things, they do just kind of fail. And that's not just in like they fail in life. No, like they fail at life. They fail at living. And I love that moment of the owl being like, okay, you're my fighter. Like, let's go, let's fight. And being like, why? You took away my wife, my son. Like, I have no reason. Why am I going in to do this? So I just thought like that was a really human moment because we see him obviously go in and do all that. So we know that he's going to overcome that. But after everything that he's just been through, like his own son turned him in.
Yeah.
I just can't even fathom that heartbreak of like his wife dies because his son turned them into the authority. Like that.
Yeah. Like I told us, Aaron's like, no matter what happens, you will never be my worst son.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Spot's already taken.
I don't know how many times you could get. It's okay, get in fights and everything like that.
Bad grades.
Yeah,
Totally
doesn't matter. You will never be the worst child I've ever had. And I did remember the thing that I thought was also crazy was, first of all, I mean, I love that they have Hanji like again explain it all to us. It's like, okay, in case you missed it, and like he kind of like we threw a lot at you. Hanji's gonna go ahead and explain it to like. But not to you, she's explaining it to other people. But they're explaining it to other people, we're really explaining it to you just in case you missed what was going on here. And one of the things was that I didn't like, so we also learned through Aaron's dad and Owl that apparently they made like, I don't know, he like made a blood oath or swear like a sacred vow to the king that he would not attack.
Oh, because I hadn't thought about that too. So yeah,
do the war or whatever. Like if he did, then he would like lose the power or whatever, the Titan power. And so I was like, okay. And then like, if the, someone of royal blood becomes a coordinator or whatever, it's not so much that like, it doesn't matter how strong willed you are, you will always be overtaken by it because of like the curse or whatever that like the vow like was like
blood oath.
Yeah. The blood oath was that strong. So I thought that was interesting. I did have a ridiculous thought at the time. I was just like, there's like
everything else.
Yeah. I can buy all these titans, everything like that. But magic, voodoo, whatever. That's bullshit.
And like the other thought of this that I had was just how fascinating this show is in terms of a philosophy on war and violence. Because you hear like, oh, somebody took a blood oath to never engage in war, and you're like, wow, that's really admirable. Like, yes, more leaders should do that. That's great.
Yeah.
But like here we are in this mess.
Mhm.
And part of it's because of that. So I just think the philosophy of like war and of course juxtapose that to like the sort of Nazi Europe that the rest of the world seems to be living in at this time, and how terrible and violent that is. I mean, they turn dogs on children, like Jesus. It's just very interesting to kind of like go down the rabbit hole of philosophy of war and nonviolence versus is there a time when violence becomes necessary or war is necessary or actually somehow for the better good. I don't really have an opinion on that. It's one as I was thinking it there, I was like, where am I going with this? Because it's, this is a great example of like challenging maybe my preconceived notion. Because my notion would be war is never good.
Mm.
Of course, I've moved in a country that fought a revolution. It wouldn't exist without that war. So like, I don't know. It's just it's fascinating to just entertain the different thoughts and think about it.
Plus, I also like, again, we just like little lines keep coming up over and over again. He said like not much like like action, like that's what I love about the show is not just like about all the action, which is like great, and like they do have a lot of it, and it's really like fun to like to see and everything. But it's like the moments that in between, and like the one that was it Grisham or whatever Aaron's dad's name or Grisha. He said that if I had known the price I would have paid for freedom, it's like I never would have done it. And once again, that's something where if you think about the worst case scenario for things, and you like you fret over everything that you could lose, and the price that you could pay, then you won't. There's a lot that you might not do. Like you don't get in a car, you get in a car accident, like don't cross the street. What if a drunk driver comes? Like there's like just so much that just don't leave your house. I mean,
Yeah, but then that meteor could still strike, or a plane could
yeah,
crash.
don't pursue relationship because what if I fall in love with this person and I get my heart broken and everything? Like there's just so much that you won't do if you think about the worst case scenario, and then and then there's just like so much about life that you won't experience as well. And the whole it's better to love than lost and never loved at all. I do believe that. I think it is better.
Feels like shit sometimes.
Yeah, it sucks when you're going through the lost part. That part sucks, but all the moments with that love is is worth it. And so it's just another thing that, again, like he's talking about something like I don't know if it must seem much bigger, but like like more intense with war and everything that he went through for like fighting for your freedom. And I think at times when you think about being like a revolutionary or like fighting for freedom or fighting for like the side of like hope and a just cause, you got this like idealization of it, right? And you're just like, oh yeah, I would totally do that, and like I'd be all about it. But then like sometimes like the reality of it is like it's it's not easy, it's rough, and there's like a lot you can lose, and a lot of horror that you face.
Yeah. As you were saying that, and like still brain kind of spinning on the philosophy of war thing, I think what really came up for me was the idea that you really have to focus on what you are fighting for or what you are living for.
Yeah.
And it's either good enough or it's not. Because, like, I'm somebody who thinks through the worst case scenario. I overthink everything. But if you always think, well, this could happen, like let's say it's get on a plane to go to your honeymoon. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity, but you're fly around halfway around the world, and like that plane could crash.
It might be 3 or 4 times.
That plane could crash, and it's like you can't say it's an impossibility before you get on that plane. The reality is it's always possible.
Yeah.
So you could get on that plane and it could crash, or you could never get on that plane and never see the other side of the world and never have your honeymoon. And you got to kind of think, well, what am I living for? Am I living to be in fear and be paralyzed by that fear? Or am I living to have a chance? And I think it's so easy, especially because, different mental health studies coming out now and the rise of anxiety and whatnot. It's so easy to think worst case scenario. I was just talking to a friend the other day because we were talking about sort of some generational differences. Like our parents go through something like, I'm getting way off topic, but it's going to come back to like what I'm talking about. So just go with me on this. we were talking about the tragic thing that happened with Savannah Guthrie's mom and how she went missing. And we had there's multiple generations in the room as we were talking about it. And one of the things we were talking about is the older generation, they hear a story like that, and I think it's like it's so sad that happened to someone. Younger generations and think that's terrible. That could be me. Like, because we've grown up with a 24-hour news cycle. We've grown up in a world of the what if possibilities that go through everything. Our parents tend to watch us a lot more closely than older generation parents did. So we've kind of been conditioned to think about the worst case scenario and to recognize that like the terrible things in the world could actually happen to us too. You go through a period of childhood when you're invincible, but then you kind of grow up a little bit and realize actually you could die, and suddenly it kind of all comes crashing in, right? Like these things are possible. And I think just for our generation, and I imagine this probably impacts the younger generations too, who kind of grew up with the 24-hour news cycle and all this stuff. The idea of, well, if I get a driver's license, I could die in a car accident. It's true. It's absolutely true. But that driver's license also grants you freedom. It also gives you the opportunity to go places with your friends. It gives you a chance to travel to like, so again, it's kind of what are you living for? And if you're paralyzed by fear all the time, you are going to reach a ripe old age. Sure, great. But you're going to wonder what the heck you did with all those years.
Yeah, it's not like we're like thrill seekers or anything like that. We spend the majority of our time in our house as we work from home. And then we don't really like go out that much to begin with, just because I don't know, we're just like homebodies and like you like get in our pajamas and stay at home, like just watch a documentary.
It's so expensive nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And so it's not like I'll never go like I'm not gonna ride a motorcycle or anything like that. I mean, sometimes that's like appealed to me, but I'm like, no, it's too easy to get in an accident. If you get in an accident, like one accident, it's not your fault. You're fucked. Like, I mean,
I'd skydive sooner than get on a motorcycle.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's like certain things where it's like, to me, that's not worth the risk. Like it's not worth the risk to get on a motorcycle. Could be a lot of fun, but for me, that's not like worth the risk. Like you said, like you got to think about what you're fighting for. Like, what do you really want? What is the risk? And like, am I willing to take it? Like, I mean, we're not saying like, just say fuck it and like do whatever you want to do and like go out there and like just live a reckless life and don't think about anything. If you think about it, don't think too much. You think too hard. It's just that, like there's a balance basically.
Yeah, to bring it back to Mr. Miyagi, right? Like you gotta find the balance in everything. You can't be like too crazy and reckless, but you also can't be too constantly playing it safe and afraid of everything.
Gotta find the balance.
Exactly. Without going on the finale.
Here we go.
Each of the 9 Titans has a name to describe it, and that includes the one you're about to inherit from me.
The Attack Titan.
It's called the Attack Titan.
Complete your mission and save Mikasa and Armin.
Mikasa? Armin? Who are they?
They're my besties.
They aren't from my memories.
And then also, how does Levi and Mikasa's family factor into all this? We know they're immune from the memory wiping, but like,
true.
How do they factor into all this? Because I don't think they're like new to like more recent history. I feel like they got to come into this origin story.
Do you think Zeke, that was the image I said was cool.
Oh yeah.
The Beast Titan, like maybe his dad didn't support like his baseball career, like skills. Like that's why he turned him in and was pissed about him.
That's where he's got like some trauma issues and.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He thought he could be a star pitcher, but his dad was like, "No, you're gonna be nothing." His dad was too focused on freedom and war.
Not really trauma issues, more like can't get over it issues.
Yeah. Meet you on the other side of the wall.
That information should stay in this room. If it became public knowledge, there'd be chaos. We can't let this get out till we fully grasp the situation. Shall we deceive the people once more? That's what you're suggesting, right? If we do that, then by what ideals did we oppose King Rice? What right did we have to seize his crown?
Then let's announce it. It's only fair. This is information that the people once knew, before my predecessor stole it from them. As the people of the walls, all of us will share the same fate, which is why we must now unite as one.
When our king erected these walls 100 years ago, he altered our memories using Titan powers. There are countless people beyond the walls, but when it comes to us subjects of Ymir, they believe that we are a race of devils. The enemy will invade our lands in order to obtain the resources beneath us. Their plans began 5 years ago, when they used the Colossal Titan to breach Shiganshina.
But is all of this as credible as you claim?
It addresses most of the doubts and questions that we've had this whole time. So, how are people taking the news?
It's a mixed bag. Some just accept it, some laugh it off, some lash out at the military and insist it's all a great conspiracy.
Sounds about right.
Things have become somewhat chaotic.
Gambit of emotions.
The taxpayers can treat that information as they will. That's something we've improved since the king was deposed.
I couldn't be prouder of the work you've done. One working stiff to another.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Then why don't you fluff us up a bit in the next article you write?
I have to ask, what happens to us now?
Good question.
Mm-hmm.
They'll attack us, just as they did before. Why wouldn't they? This hell will repeat itself until the last of us are dead.
Well, he's cheerful.
I was thinking the same thing.
Definitely a half full kind of guy, right?
Yeah.
Hitch, surprised you came.
I just wanted to watch you guys get your medals.
I see.
Just know, bowl cut guy loved you.
Marlowe was very brave, right to the end.
I know.
Isn't that right, Flock? You should tell her.
His name is Flock, like Flock of Seagulls, because of his haircut.
Just like me, he joined as an urgent recruit. But unlike me, he was brave and a natural leader. Our situation was hopeless, just as our fear was giving way to panic and despair.
Yeah, that was such a great moment for him.
He was an amazing person.
I know, and that's why. Well, it's probably why he never listened to me.
I'm sure he wished that he'd never volunteered.
Thanks for that. I'll laugh if you guys screw up the ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, why did you tell her that?
Because that's what he thinks.
Because somebody has to speak the truth around
Yeah.
here.
Listen.
Why don't you retire,
I
buddy?
heard about what you did, Flock. How hard you fought to ensure that Ervin would be revived.
That's right. I'm not alone in thinking that.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
Why wasn't Ervin the one that was saved?
What do you know about Armin to justify saying that? Not a damn thing!
Yeah, you're right. I'm not a childhood friend of his, but I can still tell you why he's the one standing here now. It's because you two got emotional and Captain Levi did the same. You made an irrational choice.
Ooh, Levi's gonna put this down.
Yeah. You're not emotional at all right now, buddy.
I think it's time you shut your mouth.
Surprised Levi's letting this go.
You're always completely certain that you're in the right. That's why you wouldn't give up. You're like a little kid who won't listen to reason. At least Mikasa acted like an adult out there. I saw her give up in the end.
Oh, dude, she's gonna knock you out.
Hey, Flock. Let's not do this during a memorial for our fallen comrades.
Yeah.
You might not have acted against your superiors, but you didn't try to stop Eren and Mikasa either.
You are super fucking judgy for someone that's done jack shit other than just grab Ervin.
What the hell are we supposed to do now that we've lost Ervin?
He's so afraid.
That I'm just fodder. I understand that my life is expendable, but still, I should get to call it like I see it.
Yeah, you can decide that. Quit. Leave. Go.
I think Flock is right. Commander Ervin's the one who should have been saved. Maybe he could have turned this situation around.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Oh, God.
But he's not. Make it fucking count, Armin. Tell him all the things that Armin did that not even Ervin knew.
Think about it. If we rode straight from Walmaria, what would we find?
The sea.
Mm-hmm.
We'd find the sea. A place we've only dreamed about. Water that glows like fire, fields of ice, giant rocks that take days to climb. How can we be sure of anything when there's so much we haven't seen yet? On the other side of the wall, freedom is...
Cruel.
Yeah. Not so
All right,
free.
you brats. It's time. Line up.
Man, Levi really is without ego because the way that Flock was just totally undermining him, calling him emotional,
Yeah.
and like, I was surprised that he let that go, but just listening to the whole thing, he really is without ego. His story looks very queenly.
Mm-hmm.
What did we find in that cellar? Was it hope? Or was it just despair?
Both?
If nothing changes for the better soon, that calamity will only repeat itself. I'd give up my life in a heartbeat if I was certain that in doing so, I could make a difference.
What's gonna happen when you two touch?
I'm not about to sacrifice Historias. I can't tell anyone about this. So...
Testing the theory.
I'm an Eldian who came from beyond the walls. I'm a subject of Ymir, just like all of you. King of the Walls, I beg you, kill the Titans attacking Walmaria. Please, before thousands of your people are eaten alive.
You tried to reason before killing him.
You were holding my hand for a long time.
It's getting awkward, Aaron. Especially if anyone sees you making that face. It's real awkward.
Like you want to eat her hand. We just try to.
Oh,
damn it!
Going so fast, dude.
Hanji's executioner from Hell, which had been
We can go
crushing
back.
Titans day and night, went silent just as the snow began to stick. Months later, when the snow started melting, the military formally announced that Walmaria had been cleansed of Titans at last. By the time the elevators on Trost's walls were freed for use, and work had begun on paving the main road, there were flowers in bloom, and butterflies dancing between them.
Calm before the storm.
Refugees were finally permitted to return to their homes. 6 years after the Colossal Titan's first devastating attack, the Scouts resumed their expeditions, exploring the world beyond the walls once again.
Most of the Titans had already gone inside Walmaria. We've all but wiped them out, and it only took us a single year.
Then let's push straight forward, exactly as we planned.
He's looking more and more like his dad.
Oh no.
A Titan! So one actually showed up? Let's take a look!
What if it's not just one, guys?
What if it's an intelligent Titan? Ooh.
Kind of looks like a slug.
Even with those limbs, it still tried to drag itself to the wall, bit by bit.
Hey, careful!
It was shipped to paradise, which means it's a fellow patriot. Let's go. We're close.
Titan butt.
Yep.
Is it okay to leave this here? Shouldn't somebody kill it? Shit.
Nobody cares what you think, Flock.
Yeah, I mean, it's hardly much of a threat.
I'm sure of it. This is the place where they turn the Eldians Titan, which means just up there.
Is the sea.
You're gonna see it. No pun intended. It's dried up.
That would be so depressing.
Awesome. Seeing that for the first time, damn. Also looks so clear and blue.
So clean.
Sasha's face.
Mikas's face. Don't often see her anything but totally composed.
Oh yeah, that feeling.
Get a souvenir. Oh yeah, salt water.
Is this actually full of salt water? Huh? What could that be?
Hey, Hanji.
Don't get stung.
You shouldn't touch it. It might be poisonous.
You see, Aaron? It's just like I told you. That's what I said we'd find. Now it looks like I was right.
Yeah, the sea. It's so damn big.
Hey, it's like you said too. On the other side of the wall.
There's a sea. And just across that sea, freedom's waiting. That's what I always believed, at least.
But now?
But I was wrong. I know what's waiting across this sea now. It's our enemies. Everything we've seen has been exactly as it was in my father's memories.
Well, way to bring down the room, Aaron.
Hey, if we did cross the sea, and we killed our enemies, after that, would we finally be free?
Free from what? Or free to do what? Depends on your definition of freedom, dude.
I feel like this episode is a love letter to Earth.
So I had we had wondered beforehand, before we watched these two episodes, what was gonna happen, and I was thinking it was so tough to predict because I'm like, well, I felt like, we found what's in the basement. We found like, like we had like some big fights. There's nothing like really like looming on the horizon. Like it's just kind of, yeah, setting up like, I don't even like setting up season 4. It's just like, I haven't ended this season with, oh my God, I gotta get to next season. Cause like, it ended on such a cliffhanger. I didn't get it like where I'm like super inspired by what's coming next, but I didn't get it like also like I'm super bummed out and like, oh man, this is like ended on such a downer. I gotta get to the next season because I gotta wash that taste out of my mouth. It was I don't know the right word for it, but it was not what I expected basically.
Yeah, I don't know the right word for it either, but I'm right there with you because as you were saying, like, you weren't bummed, but you weren't super excited, but you weren't inspired. Like the one that kind of came closest to a chord, I guess, was maybe inspired. Because I was like, no, but I'm something, but like I don't know what that word is because there was a part of this that kind of like had a finality to it. Like Armin finally gets to see the sea. Like so many mysteries have now been answered.
Yeah.
That have been kind of like hooking us along the whole time. And so now with the information we have, like season 4 has to be action, but it's not really like solving the mystery so much. And Aaron's sort of philosophical question at the end, like, well, if we go over there and kill our enemies, will we then truly be free? Which is a great question because,
yeah.
Before when he was talking about freedom and I said freedom can be cruel, is because like, yeah, his sister wasn't free, but the men who decided to kill her were free to choose to kill her.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was not at all what I was expecting. I'm not disappointed at all.
No.
I know we kind of sound subdued, and so I didn't want to give a false impression that we were like bummed out by this ending because we aren't. But it's sort of like I don't know, it's kind of ending that you just sit with for a minute because like it's not like an earth-shattering finale or like a oh my God cliffhanger. It's more sort of just kind of sit with this. You got a lot thrown at you this season. There's a big question as to what we do next and just, sit with that for a minute and see what you think. And I don't even know what I think yet. I'm still kind of...
Yeah, I mean, the other thing we saw was, like, I think one of the big reveals was, like, Aaron's dad pleading with the royal family.
Yeah, he tried.
And then Aaron's, like, which helps with Aaron, right? Not seeing his dad as such a villain and whatnot. And someone that just... Yeah. And so, I mean, like, obviously, like, understanding why he went there in the first place and everything, like, helps with that context, too. But he still tried, he's like, to connect with them in some way. Hey, we're of the same line. We're the same people. Like, you've abandoned us by coming in here. Like, we are your people. Like, please come help. We need your help now. And we didn't really get to see like the response to that, but the daughter didn't seem too keen.
Well, to me, it looked like her brow kind of furrowed, and I kind of thought like, she's in there. Like, he is appealing to the her that is still in there, but then she opens her eyes and they're purple, and you can just see, like, to what you were saying after the last episode, it doesn't matter how strong your will is.
Yeah.
You can't overcome the blood oath.
Yeah.
Which is why it makes so much sense why everybody who seemed to have such conviction before getting those powers then seemed to lose all that conviction.
Yeah.
The minute they got it, and regardless of who they were, like, I can totally see how if you were of the royal line, you're like, well, when I get those powers, I'm not going to be weak like that. I'm going to stand by my convictions. But it's not a question of like your will or standing by your convictions. There's literally like blood magic here that you don't have a say in.
Flock of seagulls. I get it. I mean, there was just a certain point where, he has a right to express his thoughts on the matter, but like, I just didn't know what his goal was other than to vent and to like point the finger at everyone, to make them feel as shitty as he feels, kind of. And like, I didn't understand the point of what he was trying to accomplish. And I don't think he did either. So I guess that's why I was getting like frustrated with him. And it was, man, I thought Mikasa was going to knock him out, but I just think that what he said is that like Mikasa giving up, like, cause that's just not what she does. She doesn't give up. And especially like if it's like fighting for Eren, she just feels like she's always fight for him. And so for him to say that, like, oh, at least Mikasa, like, you finally like had some sense in you to give up.
He said it in such a condescending way. You were finally the adult in the room was basically what he said. It's just so condescending. I don't really think that Flock even knew what he wanted in that moment. I suspect if somebody could have comforted him and told him a truth of how everything was going to be okay, that maybe it was what this tantrum was designed to elicit, but nobody can say that to him.
Mhm.
It would be a lie. Nobody can, and his whole thing of like, why did you tell her that, when Jean says that, and he said, well, it's time we were honest. It's like if somebody had lied to me and be like, we're all going to be okay. That would not have been any comfort. Like somebody needed to have some, like, I know we're going to be okay. Like if Irvin had gone up to him and been like, I know we're going to be okay, maybe that would have been something that could have like calmed him down. But Irvin would never do that because Irvin wouldn't lie like that. Like if Irvin says something that's not 100% true, he's making a calculated move to give his soldiers the strength to do what they need to do, but he's not going to go in and give somebody false hope. And neither would Levi. It was very interesting to just watch him kind of listen to all that and take it all in. I think Flock really in that moment was designed to represent the majority of humanity, the majority of us, which is if I was in those extraordinary circumstances, if I miraculously survived that slaughter and then carried a guy on my back.
I didn't give him enough credit for that.
Titans coming after me to get him back to safety to survive, only to have this kid I think he just has a lot of fear and anger that he doesn't know how to express in a healthy way. And this was the boiling over moment of like, I did all that for freaking nothing because he died anyway.
That's true. For someone that's so scared and that really hasn't, like I said, like I even like, because I didn't like that he was going after our favorite characters, telling him, what have you done? I think that he's probably thinking the same thing. Like that was the one thing I was able to do was to try to save Ervin.
And if Ervin survived, that would have given him so much meaning.
Yeah, and like it's kind of like that's how like me being he's talking about I forgot his name again, Bullcut. Again with an M, Marlon or not Marlon?
Yeah, Marlon, because I remember
Marlo,
because I remember thinking, wait, Marlo, like Marlon, like the
Marlo
people.
So when he was talking about Marlo and like how he inspired everyone and whatnot, and just like the stuff that he did, I think he's like he knew that he hasn't done anything and that he was a coward. And it's like the one act of bravery that he ever had was for nothing. So I think you're right in thinking that like that was another reason why he had to vent and get it out is because he wanted his life to mean something and like the sacrifice to mean something. And like he's like, how could I be the one survivor here out of everyone else that died? Oh, that was because I was supposed to get Levi. That's the only reason I survived.
Irvin.
I think I did it again.
It's okay. I'm just chiming in there.
That's why I was supposed to get Ervin, because I was supposed to get Ervin and bring him back and like save humanity or whatever. That's the only reason I was left alive, because why would I be left alive, a coward, when all these brave people died? So like survivor's guilt, basically.
Yeah. And if Irvin had survived and if he managed to do that, I think he kind of it might have redefined him for himself.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been like, I was the one who brought Irvin back. Irvin survived so he could lead us. Like, we're going to, like, as you said, I saved humanity by doing this. Like, I think it would have given him a strength and a confidence to maybe overcome so much fear. And the fact that it was all for nothing, there is no, like, validation on the other side of that. I was just thinking, I was like, was he even up on the podium getting a medal?
Yeah, he was.
Okay. At least he's getting a medal.
Yeah, he was.
But, there might even be guilt about that, right? I'm getting a medal, and what did I do?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't do anything. It made no impact what I did because Irvin died. Only way what I did would have meant anything was if Irvin lived.
Yeah. My top 5 characters for this season: Levi, and Levi. Now they're not all Levi, but you have to figure out which one I'm talking about when I say that. But Ervin would definitely be in there. He just, from being the villain that he had to be, in a lot of people's eyes, making the hard decisions. Even at the end there, he wanted it. He wanted the truth. He wanted to know, but he was also ready to, check out and be like, he made like his last final decision was like, it's not me, choose somebody else. I'm not, he was done. He was also done with all the shit he had to go through. I don't know if it was to like, I don't know if he wasn't even like coherent enough to say pick somebody else, or if he just didn't want to go on living anymore and like he had finally checked out. And if like, I think at that point Levi's like, okay, well if he's checked out and like he doesn't want to go on, then one, it'd be cruel to bring him back, and 2, is that person you want leading. Like he wouldn't be Erwin anymore. A guy gets Levi because he's been on my mind, obviously, this entire time. And just for that one, even just for nothing else, for that one badass scene where he took on the Beast Titan, and the Beast Titan couldn't even think, like, wait a minute, I have to worry about one guy, really? One guy? And it's like, is this Levi? And, oh man, that was just such a cool scene. Absolutely love that. Armin for getting roasted alive.
Oh yeah.
Damn. I mean, I want him to get his confidence back and realize and like fight for the fact that okay, yes, everyone thinks that Erwin should be the one that should have lived. But make Levi's choice, I do mean Levi's choice this time, matter. He made the right choice, and prove him right, prove everyone else wrong. You got it in you. And I think, he just doubts himself too much. So yeah, man, season 3 is like, it was divided up so much that I'm kind of in a blur now as to who I want. But those are my top 3. Who you got? Maybe it might like help spark some of my last 2.
I'm gonna throw a curveball in there.
Okay.
I'm gonna throw Kenny in there. Kenny the Ripper.
Kenny the Ripper. Okay.
So I'm throwing Kenny the Ripper in there because if he can still surprise us after all the time that we've spent in the entertainment industry and around storytelling, that's pretty damn good. On top of which, he gave the serum to Levi that allowed for Armin to survive, which just all feels crazy pivotal to whatever comes next. Admittedly, I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter that Armin's a Titan, but right now it feels like that's going to be really pivotal. And so for those reasons, and because we're never going to see him again, I feel like it would be remiss not to acknowledge Kenny in our top 5 characters.
Because he was a very cool character to enter in, like to have never seen him before, and never gonna see him again after this season. He did make an impact for sure. Kenny the Ripper, yeah, I agree. Which is crazy. Like, so if I did that in my 5th character, I'm not gonna have Mikasa or Eren in my top 5 for this season.
And I kind of thought about that. I was like,
Eren annoyed me sometimes.
Well, and I talked about how much growth Eren has had, and he has like shown definitely in this last 2 episodes. But the thing is, Eren is still Eren. Mikasa is still Mikasa. There is a thing about them at this point in some ways living up to expectations versus exceeding expectations. You mentioned Erwin. I think Erwin just exceeded expectations for sure. As I'm thinking about it, like, how do I even put into words and the examples? But there are so many of them. Like he was, and for Levi, I mean, yes, and to everything you said for all 3 characters. But for Levi, the other thing that stuck out to me was just kind of what I said in this last episode or second to last, where he was
ego.
Yeah, the incredible lack of ego.
Yeah.
The willingness to just like a sponge listen to what his crew is saying and take it all in so that he will make better informed decisions going forward. It would be very easy to kind of have the ego of being like, don't you dare say that I didn't choose when I chose, or that I was emotional in choosing. It would be very easy to drop your authority in there.
Have you ever, like, for Levi to be like, have you ever seen me have an emotion? Seriously, have you ever seen me once have an emotion?
Right? And it would also, as like the leader, be very easy to like exert your authority in there, because like what Floch was saying, while yes, being like his truth and something he needed to vent right now, you also saw how it impacted Armin. Armin going like, yeah, I shouldn't be here. And it's like, fuck, man, Armin, you're already so insecure. Damn it, we can't have you backpedal. We need you to like get some confidence right now. So there are consequences to letting Floch kind of run his mouth and vent this all out. It'd be very easy to exert your authority and kind of be protective over everyone and go in there and like just, say enough is enough. But Levi didn't. He wants to take the temperature of everybody in the room. He's listening to it all and like a sponge taking it all in, which I'm sure is going to inform how he makes decisions going forward. So I just like, again, he surprised me. Even knowing Levi for who he is, I was surprised he didn't go in there and kind of like put a stop to all that, but he didn't. He just listens and observes. And I think that's part of essentially like his own superpower, is that he is egoless and he can just observe people and he can just make really smart decisions from a place of even-headedness.
For me, the 5th spot goes to Historia.
kind of figured it would.
Yeah, I mean, for standing up to her dad, in that moment, and for going and punching Levi, that was hilarious. For doing the hard work of like, you know, being a leader, and you know, I'm sure she like wants to be out there with everyone else, but no, this is what she has to do, and it's what is best for everyone. Like, yeah, so like she just, her growth and her character development and like standing up to her, like I said, to her dad, like that moment where she's like, "Fuck humanity." It's just, I was really impressed with her. And I mean, to think about, you know, season 1 where I didn't even know her freaking name, it's Krista, to like where she's come to now, I thought, yeah, was great.
I'm going to shout out a couple other moments of Historia as well, because she was where I was going to go to. The moment where she says, "I'll be your queen, but I'm going to get out there on the front lines with you first."
Yeah, that was great.
And not just from a like, ooh, because I need to feel good about myself, but because she said, they'll never respect me as a leader if I don't do this.
Yep.
And she did it. I mean, she didn't just like be like, oh, I need to look like I did. No, she went in and she did it.
Yeah.
So that the way she introduced herself to the people as their leader while she was still in the soldier attire, fresh from the front lines, like, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be for you. The self-sacrifice, not only of giving up the scout life that she had chosen and that she wanted, knowing that her friends are all out there on the front lines, going to be in harm's way, and she can't be there with them. She can't protect them. She can't help them. That's a self-sacrifice. But then also, Emir, she had love in her life, you know, and to be able to like read that letter from Emir, I said how impressed I was that she didn't break down, but I think that also speaks to how strong her conviction is that like, this is what I meant to do. I am where I need to be. And this is in the best interest of humanity, as far as I know it right now, going forward with all the information at my disposal. She went from, forgive me, but a little girl to not just like a woman, but a freaking queen in every sense of the word. And for that, I'm so impressed with her growth. Just, I mean, it was exponential.
I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take or not, because I'm not really tapped into like, I'm tapped into our community, but like I'm not tapped into like the Attack on Titan community. But like for me, this is the best season so far because it answered so many questions that we had, but while also like posing so many different questions throughout. Like, I mean, just I feel like all the conversations we had in this season have been lengthy. And like we continue to hypothesize on different things, but like then like it's still like delivered instead of like just stringing us along, but also had the guts and the courage. I know it was a manga first, but like to have respect for the intelligence of your audience.
Yeah.
To say, and now for something completely different. Like, cool, we sucked you in with like the action, the horror, the shock, the, you know, of it all. Can I interest you in a political thriller? And like, are you okay with that? And like, I'm gonna like, you know, there's still gonna be like, you know, it's still the same show, but to introduce that, have the faith that, you know, readers, watchers, whatever, are gonna be like, stick with it, and you're not gonna lose them, and because this is what the story demands. And it's just like, yeah, but there's like more to it than just fight, kill big monsters.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on within everything. Like, you know, a lot more of the themes came out more in season 3, I feel like. And yeah, so for me, that's why, like, I mean, maybe season 1 has the best opening, by the way. We've said that a billion times, but like maybe season 1 might be like the most fun to like watch, like or whatnot. But like for me, season 3, I just thought like the writing was really, really great. You know, the courage to go this route as well. And like it showed to me that like when you started writing this series, you knew where you were going. You had plotted it all out. So yeah, it just showed like season 3 to me just showed the strength of the writing, not just in season 3, but like in the other seasons too, to set this all up and to have the payoff of it. Yeah, that was great.
You mentioned how it kind of started as this like fantasy action and then like became kind of interested in a political thriller, which I love how you laid that out. And some people have mentioned a comparison to Game of Thrones and how even I think the creator referenced influence of Game of Thrones. Where it's different to me is I think Game of Thrones was always a political thriller.
Yeah.
From the first episode of the first season, it's a political thriller with a fantasy backdrop. Whereas this, it really was, hey, we're fantasy action, genre change, political thriller. And they brought everyone along for the ride. Like, I mean, just the feedback we've heard from our community, how excited people are about it, how hooked in we were to it. And I love when I see something or I read something and it doesn't end there. It's something that I take home with me and I'm thinking about it, or like I'm cooking dinner and I'm like replaying scenes in my head and be like, okay, so what did they mean when they did that? And like, what if it was this? And you know, we talk about it over dinner and stuff. And so for me,
I cook dinner too.
He does. Actually, he cooks it more often, to be honest. He cooks it more often. But it is that thing of like, you know, really good art to me sticks with you. And it makes you think and it makes you question things. And we've talked about like the different philosophical ideas that have come up and like points of view that have come up in this, but then how like this will challenge that. And to me, that's just like that separates out just like there's like, to me, kind of slop, which is when the creators assume that the people watching it are idiots. And they'll like tell you the plot 16 times during the episode because they assume you've tuned out or you weren't smart enough to follow it. Then there's like entertainment, which is like, hey, this is fun. You watch it, you enjoy it. You don't necessarily think about it again, but like you were with it. And then there's like art. And to me, art is something where it sticks with you. It makes you question things. It makes you think about things. And Attack on Titan is absolutely art.
Now, it didn't explain the plot, but Hanji does go over like certain points, just in case you missed it. Like,
but that's okay. That's when I say slop, like I'm talking about the stuff where there was this whole article about the entertainment industry and the assumption of entertainment now being what they call second screen. So like you're doing something else, but you have your TV on in the background. I get where that's a thing. Like there would be shows like Law and Order SVU, X-Files, like Us. These are second screen shows where like you can be doing something else and then tune back in. We're not doing like a crazy intricate plot that you're going to miss if you're not glued to your screen. That honestly, like when creators assume that they're people watching are idiots, that to me is slop. I'm not saying that we assume
we don't
assume,
idiots,
but we recognize we're second screen in that like you all have seen this. Us talking about it probably isn't a great revelation to you. You've seen it as well, and you're educating us probably more so than we're educating you as we talk about it.
And because we like people have said like, oh, you know, like I'll be doing X, Y, and Z like while listening to your show and like in the background or whatever, like, you know, and so so like we're not
so that's I like kind of put it down here because the article was talking about slop and basically like AI plots that creators are using, and then they have the characters tell the plot like 3 times per episode so that people can. So it's a little bit different from us, but I recognize that we're second screen, and slop and second screen all often fall into that same category.
Not always second screen.
Exactly. But then like, you know, that's just different than coming at something with like, hey, I'm going to create something that's going to make people think. If you're not listening, if you're not watching, you could miss something while recognizing, hey, we're dropping a lot of breadcrumbs. It might help if somebody shows you the bread loaf. And I think that's what Hanji does. It's like, hey, there have been like 4 episodes where we've dropped a bunch of breadcrumbs. Let me just catch you up on the whole picture. Yeah. You know, so that you don't get too fixated in like the small stuff.
For sure.
I'm trying to think what season would be my favorite as well, and I think I would agree with you. It's season 3 also, but I mean I've loved every single season. Like the way that they have unfolded the story as it goes along, sheer brilliance.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, like I mean, watching it all again, you know, season 1 or maybe season 2, like I don't know if it's my favorite season. It's just like I'm just so impressed by this season, like, and this season like just kind of cemented this show as being more than just, I don't know, fun entertainment.
Yeah.
Which I'm not like, you know, there's nothing against fun entertainment shows. I love fun entertainment shows, you know, like, I mean, so not knocking that, but it's just, I'm like, man, like the creator of this had it all figured out and worked out, like, you know, for like, you know, this, we haven't seen how it ends, but you know, up to this point, I'm just like, man, like, you know, a lot of thought was put into this. All the other seasons, like the breadcrumbs that they put in to lead us along the way, and helps with the rewatchability. Watching it and being like, oh my gosh, like so early on they were telling us what was going on, it was happening, and we didn't catch it. So that's fun. And yeah, let us know your thoughts about these episodes this season, your favorite characters from this season down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching Attack on Titan with us. Thank you so much for staying for the discussion, and thanks for being a part of the community. Thanks for watching Attack on Titan with us, but just keep in mind
that our reaction is definitely not definitive.